Here's both the boys. They both. She doesn't normally come in too often into the garage. This one, but she's in here now, and I trapped her in here. we're gonna go for a walk, but I was just looking at a few things. First of all, let's get some light on the subject here. I got the door closed, but we ended up putting our rack inside the garage. So this is where it's always been. I just, you know, was running out of space in this garage, and I dumped it out of here, thinking it's easier to grab from the backyard, but it's okay from here. Here's the one for the bike, for the quad. This deck right here is the one for the quad. This is, of course, for the T-rack for the Jeep. And I did a little research, and there's a set screw. My female dog. She's a sweetheart. This is about a 3 3/4 inch diameter coil nut. So what you got to do is you got to jack up the Jeep so the tires just dangle in the air. Okay, so they're not touching the ground at all. So you take all the weight off the front of the Jeep, both sides. Use your floor jacks. Put a axle jack underneath. Lower it down so it doesn't fall. That's all you have to do is just lower it down on it. And the tires are still dangling. You release this. This is tight. This is a set screw for the coil nut. So you loosen this, and then you can turn this. If you turn it clockwise, it'll push the coil down, which means the Jeep will go up. So there's also one in the back, but what they did is they ended up taking these things right out of the box, and this set screw right here is impossible to get at in the back. You know, because they put it on the inside in here. Even if it was here, it'd be certain areas here, it'd be too difficult to get at. But this one's right in the front, and when you adjust these coil nuts, you get a special tool. I found out which size I need. I think it's 85 to 90 millimeter or something like that. Whatever the 4-inch, it's 3.75 inches about, give or take. And that's about 85 to 90 millimeters. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me. It's on my phone. But, well, I wrote it down here. You got 3 3/4 inch diameter. That's a 3/16 inch Allen head for this bolt. But the bottom line is, you want to be able to do this shit yourself. Not so much in the front, although this one right here this is passenger side. This does need to be turned up about 1/4 of an inch. So also what you want to do is you want to take your marker and mark where it is, because if you move this coil nut down an inch, it moves the vehicle up an inch. Just so you know. But in any case, we did a little research on getting these nuts, but what I need to do is have them do it initially. You know what I'm saying? Have the shop that put the suspension system on, have them do it. You know, raise it, level it, whatever the case may be, and then make the back a little higher, like we had mentioned in the earlier videos. But and then say you want to do a road trip and you're taking your T-rack and you don't want the front of your headlights aiming up in the air at all. So what you do is you jack up the Jeep, get your floor jacks out, and then get your axle jacks. Jack it up, put those axle jacks on, rest it down, make sure the tire's not touching the ground, and then you can take that set screw, loosen it, and then turn the coil nut mark it, also mark it, and then turn the coil nut. If you want to go up 1/2 inch, then you turn it until you got a 1/2 inch space between your mark and the coil nut. Boom, up it goes. Dudes, this is not rocket science. Anyways, we ended up getting these things in the garage here, so that's cool. So they won't be affected by rain. This is technically January, February is like a rainy month in Vegas. Now we haven't got any, but today we will get 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's cold outside, and my dogs are just ready to go. I got her trapped inside of here today. She'll come in during the day. Not too often. Only if she thinks she's going for a truck ride. She's my baby. But yeah, shit, beautiful. I will certainly get those wrenches that turn. I know there's a certain name for those wrenches. And I certainly will get quality wrench. All I need is one, actually. You know, they sell a set of 10 on Amazon, which includes the size I need. But the other 9 wrenches, you'll never fucking use them in your life. All I need them for is just these coils. So I'm going to be looking for one wrench. You know what you might do is you might confirm the size with Amazon. Make sure that it is the correct one, and then find that wrench in La La Land, just that single wrench. They're coil nut adjusting wrenches is essentially what they are. They're basically for adjusting the coil nut on your suspension, period. So if you have the right size, it's the same size for the front and back. It's got about a 12-inch handle. It's about maybe a 1/3 of an inch thick. So you got to figure, and you don't really, you know, once you turn it about 30 degrees, there's always another hole there to turn it again. So it's pretty easy to do. But when you do the adjustment, it's imperative that you take the weight of the Jeep off of the tires. The tires have to be floating. You have to have it jacked up by the frame. And then, of course, you're working under there, so you want to put an axle jack underneath for safety. Let it rest on it. And then the tire's still dangling. That's when you make the adjustments. Now, because they because I can't get at the set screw on this one back here, I'm going to show you. The set screw, there's the top of the black thing there above the blue. That's the coil nut. The set screw's on the back side. So once you jack this up, you'll have clearance here, but you still can't get to the set screw. You may have to take that shock assembly off at the bottom, disconnect it, and then pull it over so that you can get at that set screw. What they did when they did put this on is they took it right out of the box and put it on. An experienced person, I'm seeing that. I'm figuring that this might be the first time they ever installed a fucking Evo king coilover system, this particular dude. Because a dude would have made that nut accessible for future adjustments, because you know you're going to have to adjust. It just goes with the territory. The other side is accessible. All the other ones are accessible, except that one. It's on the back side. Very difficult. It's nothing for these guys. See, even this one's accessible. It's right here. These guys, they throw it up on fucking power jacks. They can throw it all the way to the ceiling, walk underneath it. disconnect the fucking the bottom part of the shock, swing it over, loosen it. But that's something that should have been done. You know, no, I have to do that. I'm not going to do it. I mean, if it was accessible, I would definitely probably adjust these shocks myself, the back. I left it up. But now that it's not accessible, I may still do it, but what we need to do is put a couple hundred more miles on this Jeep, and then make the appointment for the a retorque of all the suspension bolts, have them level it out, have them put the stickers on the rear the sticker right there on this rear reservoir, have them put it on the right side, and then when they put this shock on, make sure that they keep the set screw accessible. And then when you do a road trip, you can always jack this fucker up. Not that you're going to do this every time. You have to have some serious fucking time to jack this fucker up, put some axle jacks under it, dangle the tires, and do an adjustment. Dudes, you know, once I make that adjustment, it'll stay there. You know what I'm saying? The back of this Jeep will be higher than the front, maybe an inch. I mean, I drove with it for 3 months like this, with the front an inch higher. I guess the least I can do is drive with the back higher for the rest of its life, right? Anyways, these dogs are down here wondering, what the fuck is going on, Dad? We got shit to do and you're fucking around. We gotta get that walk in. Let's go. We're charging up the batteries here. It's weird. This battery was already charged, and I accidentally dropped the charger on down here when I was taking it off, and now it's showing it's charging again. It was already fully charged. This is a different one. But we just charged up all 8 of my Makita batteries, so periodically you make sure that they're all charged, charged up and ready to go. This one here is dead. Well, not dead, but it needs to be this one has to be recharged. But anyways, we're doing that, so that's good there. Just wanted to give you a little brush up on what's going on here. So these boys are wondering what the fuck's going on with Dad. Oh, you see the 2 green lights? One is the trickle charger for the sport bike, and the other one is the trickle charger for the Jeep, for the new Jeep here. And they're both green. That means that they're fully charged and they shut off. When they're green, they automatically shut off. Or quit charging, that is. So that's nice to see. All right, man. We're going to shut this one down. Then we're going to start a bike, or I mean a walk with the dogs. So it's going to be a separate video. But man, sure would be nice to be able to adjust those things easily. The set screw. There's no way. It's a 3/16 inch Allen head wrench or small tip. There's no way you can get anything in there to do it. It's such a small space back there. The only way I can see you being able to do it is by releasing the bottom of the shock, swing the shock out, and then you might have a shot at it, at loosening it. Once you loosen it, then you can turn it. And then once you're happy with the height that you got, put that nut where it's accessible, where you can get at it easily. Kind of frustrating to run into that little dilemma. Now I know you guys are out there, oh, what the fuck's the big deal? Just fucking unhook the shock. Well, then you unhook the shock. Then you gotta fucking get the torque right on the bottom of the shock. Break out your torque wrench. Dudes, this ain't fucking goddamn rocket science. And there's, even if you swing the shock out, I don't know for sure if that will be enough to get access to that fucking set screw. I'm sure it is, but you don't know until you actually get there. I mean, and you those are aluminum. I believe they're aluminum. Let me take a look. Let's just say this. You most definitely want to loosen that set screw before you turn, because there could be problems. You just don't want to turn it with the set screw snugged up. Anyways, we're going to chop this video off right here and take these dogs for a walk. And keep in mind, it's windier than the hell out there. It's cold out there. This will be the coldest day that we do this walk. That's it for this video.